Well, it's been a day of contrasts across British Isles. Flood and rainfall on one end of the country and wildfires on the other. Thanks for clicking on to the late edition of Vogan's European Outlook for Sunday evening. The time is now 18:53, and what a contrast I've even seen today, driving from Dunblane up to Dundee. Fairly miserable kind of morning. It wasn't particularly wet, but it was a wet evening last night, and then through the overnight period, off and on rain. Driving southwards, there was a mix of some rain, some bright spells as well. Then I reckon it was the cold front that I drove down as I was driving down through the north of England. Some fairly heavy and persistent rainfall, and then eventually, as I came down towards the Birmingham area, and then headed east southeast along the motorway towards Cambridge, the temperature was sitting on 30 Celsius. But so yeah, it's been a pretty interesting day from a weather point of view. Accident on the A66 prevented me from crossing over the Pennines and down the east side of the country. I'm literally just 2 minutes away from a delivery point at Turner's in Newmarket, Suffolk. And it's a very pleasant evening indeed. What was quite interesting was I seen a bank of what looked like cloud cover, and a kind of brown, kind of dirty colour complexion to that seeming. It looked like cloud cover anyway, but actually I think it was actually wildfires that are burning. I believe in Surrey and also in Suffolk. So wildfire smoke actually was what I was seeing. Just recently there. So yeah, it's been a pretty bizarre day actually. So this is set up here. We've got an area of low pressure. The main parent low is just to the east of Shetland, as you can see here, and then we've got this kind of elongated area of multiple low pressure centres here, extending from off Ireland all the way up to the east of Shetland here. Some very heavy, persistent rainfall underneath that area of low pressure here. You can see here, this is the satellite imagery currently. You can see here these kind of multiple centres here spinning away, one just to the east of Shetland, one just off the Outer Hebrides, and the third one just off Ireland here. There's the main front, cold front, and you can see here that over the course of this afternoon it has been pushing east southeast, but ahead of it, it's been warm. Temperatures into the 30-31 Celsius range down across East Anglia in particular here. Underneath the rain, we've seen temperatures subdued at 16, 17, 18 Celsius, even a little bit of warmth on the Aberdeenshire coast, as you can see here. But it's actually been across parts of Northern Ireland, the northwest of Northern Ireland, that we've seen some very significant weather indeed. So when you've got warmth, humidity, low pressure, you've got the ingredients coming together for heavy, persistent rainfall, and unfortunately that has led to flooding across parts of Londonderry, Strabane, and even parts of, I believe, the Irish Republic has even been hit as well. But this is an article of the BBC here, and you can see here people's homes unfortunately have been flooded with this situation here. You can see here as we play through the loop of weather online, and you can see here the setup that we've got here. So plenty of heavy rainfall across Northern Ireland and across parts of central Scotland. Most of Scotland really seeing some very wet weather through the course of today. And there's your frontal system, that cold front that's been moving and edging south and eastwards through the course of this afternoon. But of course, like I say, with sunshine, southwesterly winds, we've seen the temperatures coming up in the southeast corner of the country here. You can see here, this is the 850 temperature. So I was going to say it's cool underneath the area of low pressure, but actually it's not really that cold even underneath the area of low pressure. Mum and Dad live in the central belt of Scotland. My fiance lives up in Ross-shire, where I happen to live, well, for 2 days of the week anyway. But even she was saying that it doesn't feel particularly cold. I think the temperature at nearby Tain, which is the closest Met Office weather station to where we live, I think is reporting about 19 Celsius, even 20 Celsius. So certainly not cold in that rain, but certainly slightly cooler compared to the southeast corner of the British Isles. So England and Wales generally in that milder through the course of today, but it's that southeast corner in particular that we've seen the 15 Celsius isotherm at 5,000 feet edging in, allowing the temperatures to jack up. Now, as we go through the remainder of tomorrow, the heat gets pushed back into the near continent once again. Area of low pressure lifts north, and we've got, of course, high pressure that's going to start to try and push in from the west, but it's between the area of low pressure exiting and the approach of high pressure off the Atlantic that is going to see those winds coming in from the north, and they are going to pull in some fresher air at 850, and essentially that means through the course of much of this work week we're going to see the temperatures suppressed back down at or slightly below average, particularly so across the north, probably average to slightly above average as we progress through the week across more England and Wales here. And you can see here, as I skip through the course of this week, the heat is even pushed back towards the Mediterranean. So even France, Low Countries, Germany, into Poland, we're seeing that cooler, fresher air push the heat into the Mediterranean basin, as you can see here. And then, of course, as that area of high pressure builds in, you're keeping your eyes out to the west here. We've got another area of low pressure seen by the model pushing towards the UK as well. But there's plenty of warmth around as well, so I don't expect it to be particularly cold. But we're going to get this battle, so to speak, back and forth here. And of course, depending on the movement of high and low pressure, it will depend on whether we can tap some of this heat to the south and push it up towards the British Isles here. But like I said in yesterday's video, a very distinct north-south divide. Low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, and it's going to be quite the demarcation zone between the two air masses through into next weekend. And I think next weekend and beyond here, we are going to see opportunities of some of that warmth lifting up into the British Isles here. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please like, share and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll be back again tomorrow with more. Bye for now.